And now to U.S.-Russia relations, which President Donald Trump himself says is at an all-time low and is blaming U.S. Congress for that. Remember, he had signed a new bill last week imposing new sanctions on Russia, Iran and North Korea. Now, while Russia has criticized these sanctions, it's taken direct aim at the Trump administration.
Response to the new sanctions had already come even before it was announced, as the U.S. House of Representatives and Senate 2 Wednesdays ago reached a deal on sanctions against Russia aimed at punishing the country for its alleged interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. President Vladimir Putin announced Russia's decision to reduce American diplomatic staff in Russia by 755 people, including U.S. and Russian nationals, by September the 1st. He also announced a ban on the U.S. embassy using specific property in Moscow. The Kremlin also ordered the seizure of a diplomatic warehouse used by the U.S. embassy for storage. The cut will affect the U.S. embassy in Moscow and its consulates across the country, and will impact on Russian citizens working for the embassy. But the direct hit came from Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev, who said on Facebook, "The U.S. president's signing of the package of new sanctions against Russia will have a few consequences. First, it ends hope for improving our relations with the new U.S. administration. Second, it is a declaration of a full-fledged economic war on Russia. Third, the Trump administration has shown its total weakness by handing over executive power to Congress in the most humiliating way. This changes the power balance in U.S. political circles." Though President Donald Trump signed the bill, he still has not admitted Russian meddling and has been quite displeased that some of his family members and campaign officials are being roped into the story surrounding collusion with Russia. He told a rally in Huntington, West Virginia, that the Russia story was a total fabrication.
The Russia story is a total fabrication. It's just an excuse for the greatest loss in the history of American politics. That's all it is. It just makes them feel better when they have nothing else to talk about. What the prosecutors should be looking at are Hillary Clinton's 33,000 deleted emails.
Meanwhile, Germany has never supported the sanctions from the get-go. The country's foreign minister, Sigmar Gabriel, described them as more than problematic. He said, "The draft law makes clear that they are pursuing economic interests, and we think that's not acceptable. Aggressively combining foreign policy issues with American economic interests and saying, we want to drive Russian gas out of the European market so we can sell American gas. This is definitely not something we can accept." The White House says the sanction sends a clear signal that the U.S. won't tolerate election interference. But Russia has warned of damaging repercussions of the sanctions.
It is harming our relations inevitably, but we will be working in conditions that exist, and in the hope that it will turn one day. But those who invented this bill, if they were thinking that they might change our policy, they were wrong, as history many times proved. They should have known better that we do not bend or do not break.
In the document signed by President Trump, new sanctions are introduced on entities doing business with Russian military or intelligence agencies, companies involved in Russian offshore oil projects, and those participating in Russian oil or gas pipeline construction within Russia. The bill targets a wide range of Russian industries, which might further hurt Russia's economy, which are already weakened by the 2014 sanctions imposed after it annexed Crimea, among other measures.
Research fellow at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Professor Charles Dokubo, joins us after the break for the discussion on these issues. Do join us again.